Nissan has a great history in motor racing, particularly in sports car racing, and that's embodied by this beautiful car in front of me, the Nissan R383, designed specifically for the 1970 Japanese Grand Prix, which at the time ran to Group 7 sports car racing regulations. Except the Japanese Grand Prix in 1970 never took place, meaning this great car never took to the track. The striking looks of this car are not just about making it look cool, though it really does, I love it. It's about aerodynamic performance, something that in the 1970s the manufacturers are only just beginning to experiment with. But that's why you've got such a beautiful swoop upwards, and then these big scallops for the radiator ducting, then up to the rear with this fantastic flick up, which really signs off the car from an aesthetic point of view, but it was also very effective in terms of aerodynamic performance, and I love it. The car was powered by a 6-litre V12 Nissan engine, which in this car is still in running condition. It produced about 700 brake horsepower, but a turbocharged version was also developed, which kicked out 900 brake horsepower. And this, in a car that's this tiny and this compact, would have been incredible. The cockpit of this car really gives you an indication of how brave the drivers were who got into these things at the time. It really is very much of its time, very basic, simple clocks, dashes and gauges, a good old-fashioned steering wheel without a collapsible steering column, and no safety precautions at all. But most noteworthy for me, which highlights the bravery of the men who got into these cars at the time, is just down here. This isn't a big side pod for aerodynamic purposes, this is one giant fuel tank all around the driver, and that is something you'd never be allowed to get away with today. As the race this car was designed for never took place, it sadly never ran on track in full anger, but it's kept in full running condition here in Japan and occasionally, very occasionally, makes an appearance on track for display runs. But it was the final car of the famous Nissan R line of racing cars, and the R383 was the full stop on that little story of Nissan's sports car racing history, and this single one-off car remains a great monument to that period in time. Now, if you'd like to see more historic car profiles from the history of Nissan in motor racing, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and follow us here on Nismo TV. There's someone driving a car around in here, look. Look at this, he's driving the car through. Amazing. Oh, I wish we could, can I not get in it and do welcome to Nismo TV News?